If you hate exercise and you don't have time to work out, this script is for you. Not in a cheesy motivational way, but for the person whose schedule is packed, whose brain is already tired, and who has zero interest in paying money to run in place under fluorescent lights. After years of coaching and watching what actually works, I'm convinced most people aren't lazy. They're overloaded, and when they try to get fit, they pick plans that fight their biology. A lot of mainstream advice is basically add an extra hour of inconvenience to your day and pretend that's relaxing. Drive to a gym, find parking, change clothes, wait for machines, then jog on a treadmill for 45 minutes like you're powering a hamster wheel in an office building. That isn't just exercise, it's friction, and your brain is built to avoid friction, pain, and boredom. If a routine feels artificial, humiliating, or monotonous, you won't stick with it no matter how good it looks on paper. So today I'm going to show you a way to inject movement into your life so it doesn't feel like you're working out. It just feels like you're living like a human again. Quick note, this isn't medical advice. If you've got injuries, heart issues, or you're recovering from something, go gentler and talk to a professional. We're aiming for sustainable, not heroic. Here's the first principle. Stop trying to find time for exercise and start stealing tiny moments from the day you already have. The easiest starting point is the 3-minute reset rule. Every hour you're sitting at a computer or stuck in one position, take 3 minutes and move. Not 30 minutes, not a full session, 3 minutes. Set a timer if you need to. When it goes off, do something simple. A few squats, push-ups against a wall or desk, lunges, marching in place, fast stairs for 60 seconds, and then breathing for the rest. Anything that interrupts statue mode. This works because the body doesn't only hate being inactive, it hates being inactive for long uninterrupted blocks. And 3 minutes feels too small to resist. If you're at a desk for 8 hours and you do this each hour, that adds up to real movement without needing motivation. Just a timer. Now let's make it even easier. The ridiculously short burst. Can you afford 10 seconds? Most people can, and that's the trick. Your brain can't negotiate with 10 seconds. Pick one tiny, intense thing. 10 seconds of jumping rope, sprinting in place, fast step-ups on a stair, shadow boxing, or as many squats as you can in 10 seconds. Then stop. That's it. But you repeat it 10 to 20 times across the day, not all at once. Spread out like little waves. Tiny spikes, tiny recoveries like a heartbeat. Psychologically, it's unbeatable because it's too small to fail. Your brain can't say, I'll start Monday, because 10 seconds is basically now or never. Next, if you want something that actually strengthens your body without stealing your week, commit to one short strength session, 15 minutes once a week. Done consistently, it can make a real difference, especially if you focus on full body moves. Think in patterns, something for the legs like squats or sit-to-stands, something to push like push-ups or presses, something to pull like rows with a band or dumbbells, something to hinge like a hip hinge or deadlift pattern, and something for the core like a plank or dead bug. You're not training for a photo shoot, you're protecting yourself from the slow drift of use it or lose it. Muscle isn't vanity, it's insurance, especially as you get older. Then we start hiding movement inside things you already do. If you're on the phone, you walk. No exceptions. If you're the type who sits down to scroll while talking, flip it. Pace around the room, walk the hallway, walk outside, walk laps like you're negotiating a deal. It sounds silly until you realize how many calls you take in a week. That's free movement hiding in plain sight. Another easy habit. When you watch TV, sit on the floor sometimes instead of melting into the couch. Getting down to the floor and standing back up is a surprisingly powerful marker of mobility, balance, and real-world strength as people age. Start simple. Sit on the floor for an episode, practice standing up without using your hands if you can, or use one hand and gradually rely on it less. Even practicing a supported deep squat near the couch can help your hips, posture, legs, and long-term movement confidence. If you truly hate workouts, lean into what I call useful exercise, physical tasks that are real life. Carry your groceries like training equipment, clean with intensity for 10 minutes, garden, rake leaves, shovel snow, wash your car, fix something around the house. Humans trained for thousands of years by doing real work with their bodies, and your nervous system often accepts tasks better than workouts. Bonus points if you do some of it outside, because a change of environment, fresh air, and natural light make movement feel less like punishment and more like relief. Here's a stealth trick you can do right now. The under-desk calf pump. While you're sitting, lift your heels up and down like you're pressing a gas pedal. Alternate feet or do both at once. Do it during emails, meetings, or anytime you're stuck sitting. It's not glamorous, but it keeps blood moving and turns "I am trapped at my desk" into "I am still a moving organism." Another high-impact habit, take a short walk after meals. 10 to 15 minutes if you can, not to punish yourself for eating, but because it helps your body handle the meal better and keeps your daily movement from dropping to zero. Make it automatic. Meal, shoes, walk, even if it's just around the block or inside that you're building. If you want more challenge without changing your schedule, add gentle resistance to your normal life. A light-weighted vest or even a backpack with a couple of books can make your regular walking and chores more demanding without taking extra time. And if your problem isn't time, but energy, stop trying to fix it with willpower. Most people don't lack discipline. They lack sleep, hydration, or consistent nutrition. Fixing energy fixes consistency. Some people use supplements like creatine, magnesium, or B vitamins, but don't treat supplements like magic. They're support, not a substitute, and if you're unsure, talk to a professional. Also, if you're exhausted from poor sleep, the best exercise is usually gentle, walking, mobility, light strength, not high-intensity punishment that makes you dread moving tomorrow. Now for the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop saying, I need to exercise. Start saying, I'm someone who moves. I need to exercise sounds like homework. I'm someone who moves sounds like identity. You don't have to feel motivated to act like who you are. And while we're changing the scoreboard, don't make weight loss the only measure of success. If you're only exercising to lose weight, you'll quit the moment the scale doesn't move fast enough. Track better wins, more energy, better sleep, less back pain, stronger legs, improved mood, better posture, walking without getting winded. Weight often follows health, but health can start long before your body changes shape. Here's the real cheat code. Make the goal embarrassingly small. If your goal is workout 5 times a week, your brain will rebel. If your goal is 1 push-up, your brain can't argue. 1 squat, 1 minute walking, 1 stretch before bed. The win is showing up because once you start, you often do more. And even when you don't, something beats nothing, and something done daily becomes a system. That's also where NEAT comes in. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is a fancy name for all the movement that isn't labeled exercise. Taking stairs, parking farther away, standing more, carrying your own bags, moving around the house instead of sitting like furniture. Modern life deletes motion, and NEAT puts it back quietly. And don't underestimate micro-workouts. If your brain only respects a workout if it's 45 minutes long, you'll stay stuck forever. Instead, do tiny circuits, a few squats, a few push-ups, a short plank, repeat once or twice. That's 2 minutes. Do it twice a day and you've built a pattern. Do it 4 times a day and suddenly you're someone who moves without ever going to the gym. To make this even easier, change your environment so movement becomes the default. Put a pull-up bar in a doorway so you do 1 or 2 reps when you pass. Keep a resistance band near the couch. Put a yoga mat next to your bed so you step on it and stretch without thinking. Even putting your water bottle across the room forces you to stand up more. Environment beats willpower every time. If you hate long cardio, don't force it. Short intensity can be powerful and time efficient. 10 minutes of intervals, brisk stair rounds, quick hill walks. But here's the warning. More isn't always better. If you go too hard too often, especially with bad sleep, your body will feel wrecked and your brain will decide movement equals misery. Consistency beats brutality. Accountability helps too. Work out with a buddy, hire a trainer, or even just text a friend "done" after your daily movement. It's not weakness, it's being human. And one more psychological trick: pair movement with something you actually like. Only listen to your favorite podcast while walking. Only watch your show while stretching. Scroll your phone while doing calf pumps or marching in place. You're not forcing discipline. You're bribing your brain like a genius. Finally, a small upgrade that makes light exercise more effective. Slow down the lowering part of movements. Lower slowly into a squat, then stand normally. Lower slowly in a push-up, then reset. Walk downstairs with controlled steps sometimes. That slow lowering builds control and strength without needing heavier weights, and it's often friendlier on joints when done carefully. So if you're slammed, here's the simplest version of the plan. Every day, add a few movement breaks, take at least 1 short post-meal walk, walk during phone calls, and do 1 micro-workout that takes 2 minutes. Every week, do 1 15-minute full-body strength session. That's it. And if you only do half of that, it still counts, because the goal isn't becoming a gym person. The goal is becoming a moving person. You don't need a perfect program. You need a system that works even when life is messy. If you're busy, tired, and you hate exercise, you're not broken and you're not lazy. You just need movement that fits your life, not movement that demands a new life.